What nerdigans? This is the one and only Packer Girl 89, and today's Manga Nerdigan live reaction video is going to be for Kingdom Chapter 488, which I've been waiting for all week, because last week, the King of Ki came and he was telling Sei, he was asking Sei, what's going to happen after you take over China and unify China? What's going to happen after that? And he also gave his reasons for why he left the coalition army as well. And he said, basically, if Sei couldn't answer his question on how he's going to make the people become part of Kin, become a part of this unified China, then he has no choice but to join the coalition forces and take down Kin. And I was thinking to myself, damn, the king of, and I said it last week in the Manga Nerdigan live reaction video, damn, he has a really good point. And I really can't wait to hear what Sei has to say to this. Because think of it with Utopia. You can't force someone with free will to join your utopia when they're so embedded in the previous culture, in this case, in the previous state, whether it be Zhao or Qi or Wei or whatnot. So I can't wait to hear what Sei has. Shiboken's like flipping the fuck out. I'm just glad that Riboku is not here, because he's an asshole and he's a fucking troll. He's a troll. He really is. He's like the troll of fucking debate. And Sei is, to an extent, he is a goddamn troll of debate too. So I hope this chapter will give us a good rebuttal to the King of Ki's points about Utopia. And I hope that Sei just fucking trolls him. So anyway, let's get to the chapter. Oh, so you're telling me that you already have an answer to the question of how you intend to save the citizens of your vanquished enemies? How intriguing. In that case, will you share your wisdom with us right here and now, King of Kin El Sei? Oh, yes! I can't wait for this! With every word and every breath, the future of China grows clearer and clearer. Ooh, I love it. The chapter is called King's Vision. This is going to be so good. I hope Sei trolls the fuck out of you, King of Ki, even though I got to give him props for last chapter, what he said about Utopia, about Sei's idea of Utopia. I got to give him props for that. All right. What's the matter, O King of Kin? Your Majesty is correct. For the people, their state is the soil in which they lay their roots, and to take that away from them would only leave them citizens with an unbearable sense of humiliation and loss in abject terror. As one who intends to carry out the unification of these lands, I am fully aware that it is my responsibility to alleviate the conquered citizens from that suffering, and to go about accomplishing that, then it will be necessary to convince them that this was not a war waged for the sake of conquest. Oh, what a strange thing to say! How are you gonna do that, Sei? How? Like, how is this gonna... Jeez. I don't know what to say. Here we go. Here's King of Ki's response. Is beginning the 6 states to heal not a war of conquest? No, it is not. This war of unification is a war for the sake of ushering in a brand new era and nation. Woo! Here we go. Here we go. I think Sei's going to start trolling. Let's see. To conquer is to subjugate. Even if we were to destroy all 6 states, do you think Western Qin would be able to maintain controls over the land by itself? If we attempt to do so in only a few years, we could expect the world to plunge into an age of strife yet again. Were Qin intend to install itself as overlord after defeating the 6 states, then unification without any shred of doubt end in failure. The people of Qin must not allow themselves to become rulers of the rest. Ooh! Sei is spouting knowledge right now. He is dropping some knowledge. Doing so will first clear away any feelings of fear that the conquered people may have towards Qin. And I didn't think about this argument from Sei. Sei is talking about, if you're not picking it up, Sei is talking about focusing on the mindset of the people. Because, like, if the people of Qin have this mindset that they conquered the rest of China, then they'll feel like they're the overlords, and the rest of the people from the defeated nations are gonna feel defeated, and they will probably rebel at some point because they will refuse to be a part of it. But if the people of Kin have this mindset where that this is more about unification instead of conquering, then it's going to be a lot easier for the rest of the citizens to adapt. Doing so will first clear away any feelings of fear the conquered people may have towards Kin. Yeah, that's what I said. Say is right though. I didn't think about that though with the mindset. So it's up to the people with that mindset. And once we have announced the designs of our new nation, with no borders or battles to hinder them, we shall witness a world where man and goods can move freely amongst. I told you that is an impossible fantasy. To unite the 7 fragmented states of these lands into a single entity without imposing your will upon them is impossible. Within these lands lie a multitude of cultures, customs, and religions. Ooh, King of Key is spouting some knowledge too. He's dropping that knowledge, and he is coming back. He is not going to take this troll and sitting down. He's not. With so many complications dividing the people, how could you ever hope to unite them under a single banner? If anything, the only feasible way of making this possible would be through a powerful ruler above them, the likes of which has never been seen before. Your Majesty is completely correct. To truly unify these lands would requires one thing to single-handedly govern the whole system effectively, but it can never be allowed to be man. Not man? If not man, then what? Law. Oh! Damn, Sei! Yes! Sei is fucking right. And this is why law is important, especially look at the United States. We are a land of laws. And look how the laws have got, especially like after the Civil War, for example, look how the laws have kept us united. Think about that. Well, yeah, some of the laws, when they're enforced correctly, I should say. We will grant the law the highest level of power, and through law we will govern the people and the land. Under this new law, whether you used to be a citizen of Ki or a citizen of Kin, none of it will matter. A world where royalty, nobility, and common peasantry mean nothing. A world where everyone shall answer equally. King of Ki, the superpower that shall emerge following the unification, shall be the one that finally achieves peace and equality after 5 whole centuries of conflict, a nation that shall be governed by law. And that's why I love this manga so much, because it talks about it's not just fighting, and yeah, the fighting is very strategic. I'm not gonna lie about that. I'm not gonna lie about that. But the thing is what Sei is trying to say is that the only way people are going to be unified and is by law. It's going to be by law and people recognized under a set of laws. And Sei is fucking smart for saying this. Damn, I didn't think Sei would say this, to be quite honest. I am shocked. Oh, Shiboka's crying. Oh, why am I crying? To have thought that far, whether it be Kin or Ki, the citizens of all 7 states shall stand shoulder to shoulder in this new world, none superior or inferior to the rest, so that we may truly unify ourselves as one people and work towards the formation of our new nation. That is the answer that I have prepared as my response to the citizens of the 6 states. A world where even royalty and nobility are not above the law, Correct. But such a thing could hardly be considered a kingdom anymore, could it? A trifling matter. Sire, you really defy normal expectations. That being said, a nation governed by law where people from all corners of the world may be treated as equals. Not the cleanest of answers, but certainly not a bad one either. Of course, this will be an undertaking that is far easier said than done. And that's true. It's going to take a while for this to happen. Especially after like this time of war, because they've been in war China's been in a state of war in this manga. It's been in a state of war for a really long time. So this is going to be really hard to do. So I agree with the King of Ki. This vision that you strive for does not appear to be one where my people will need to suffer. I see, to think that such a path existed. It would appear that allowing myself to be cajoled by Saitaku and journeying to the western reaches here was worth the time after all. Then does that mean the coalition is... next I must ask your majesty to answer a question. What was the purpose behind your visit to Kanyo? Ooh! Oh, I can't wait to hear this one. I can't wait to hear this answer. But Nerdigans, what do you think of Say's answer though about people being ruled under the rule of law? I have to ask this, and I don't know if Say is going to even do this for himself as well, include himself in this. Is that after he's done, and I wonder if this is going to happen. After he's done unifying China, that if all the monarchies are going to be completely abolished, and because from what it sounds like what Say wants to do after unifying China is he wants to completely abolish the other kingdoms of monarchy is going to be already abolished. But it sounds like Say's going to want to have. I don't know if Say is going to abolish his own monarchy or not. What do you Nerdigans think about that? Do you think that Say will completely abolish the monarchy after this? I'm curious what you Nerdigans think about that. I had thought it would involve a Qi-Kin alliance, but that does not appear to be consistent with what you have said. No, you're close to the mark there. Although without a formal witness, this can only be considered a verbal promise between ourselves. But yes, it is an alliance between Qi and Kin I seek. Yeah! We got an alliance! And I thought we were having an alliance anyway, based off of what happened during the Coalition War. And this is why I love politics and manga. Like, this is so good. And how would such an enterprise benefit Qi? For us Kin, were we to go to war with Wei, Zhao, or Han, having an ally in the form of Qi poised at their back is one of the greatest advantages we could hope for out of an alliance. However, here we go. Here's the however. The moment Qin's blade penetrates those three states, Qi will certainly be the next to find itself threatened by our steel. And I'm sure that as the King of Qi, you are aware that our alliance will not be enough to stand in the way of our progress. And when that time comes, should the King of Qin's eyes have changed and become clouded by impurity, then Qi shall fight to the last man to protect their home. So what the King of Qi is saying here is, what he's saying is basically if Say becomes power hungry after defeating the other three nations, if he becomes more power hungry and he forgets his vision of unifying the people under law, then Qi's going to say, fuck you, we're going to fight for our land. Fuck this. We're not going to be a part of this shit if you're going to go back on your word. And that's pretty smart. And I'm down with what the King of Qi is proposing. Wait. Then does that mean if he remains unchanged, then the state of Qi will, Your Majesty, around 50 years ago, a great coalition army led by the great Gaguki reduced the mighty state of Qi to a paltry 2 cities, Kyo and Sokoboku. Excuse me. It was at that time in the besieged city of Kyo that I was born, and since then I have seen a great many things on the way here today. And there has been one thing that I've always believed in, that a thoroughly sickening amount of blood has already been shed on these plains, and that so long as we are able to find an exit from this quagmire, this flow of blood shall never cease. I had convinced myself that maybe such an exit did not exist at all, but sitting here now, I feel that perhaps I have just seen a small glint of light shining out of the darkness, O King of Kin. If it is you, then perhaps there is finally someone to whom the reins to this land can be entrusted. Shuiboku is just like, what the fuck is the King of Qi saying? He's talking about surrendering? There's no mistaking it right now. The Qi King, 1 out of the 7 warring states, is actually talking about surrendering? Oh, and Say is just bowing his respect. Say, I gotta say, Say fucking won this round. This chapter was really good. I loved Say's response to the King of Kin. I did not expect him to say that. I really didn't. I know Say is a fucking troll, and he always has an answer for everything, and it pisses people the fuck off, but damn, Say was spot on. He was spot on. I loved it, and I can't believe it even got the King of Qi to say, because I was curious what was going to happen with the King of Qi too. He said that as long as Say still has that mindset when it's time for Qi, for Qin to take over Qi in part of the unification process, then he will surrender. So I gotta give mad respect to the King of Qi. I gotta give him mad respect for that. And what did you nerdigans think about this? I thought Sei's response was beautiful. Not like where Shoiboken was fucking crying. I thought that was kind of funny that Shoiboken was crying, but because he was so moved by it. And the thing is, I believe Sei can do it. And the reason why I believe Sei can do it is you've seen this aura around Sei. And you remember in one of the battles when Sei was there to, motivate the people and this was during the Coalition War, when they all thought all hope was lost, and Sei just spoke to the people that they were able to, unite and have so much power. Sei is just that powerful of a king. And that's another reason why I like this manga is that with the politics, you show how powerful, it's not just how powerful the sword is or the fighting techniques are. You see how powerful words are. And Sei's words are extremely powerful. I have to say that right now. And like, if anything from the last chapter when we saw the auras of the kings, it definitely proved it. Like, the King of Ki, yeah, his words are extremely powerful. I'm not gonna lie. And I completely understand where he's coming from. But just Sei, like, especially with that aura he gives off, you can tell he means it. But Nerdigans, I want to know what you thought about Sei's response, and also, what do you think Sei is going to do after the rule of law is established? Do you think he's going to get rid of the monarchy, destroy the monarchy system in Kin as well, and, give up his throne? Like, how do you think it's going to work? I'm just curious what you Nerdigans think about that. Or do you think it's going to be something like where they have in Britain, where they still have, or hell, in modern day Japan, well, in Japan they have it for a bit too. I think they still have it, I'm not sure. But where they have the, you have the emperor, and then you have, your president, or president and prime minister, such as like with Britain, where they have the queen and the monarchy, and then they have, the parliament. So I'm curious what you Nerdigans think. I kind of think it's going to lead towards more of a parliamentary system. What Sei wants to do is more of a parliamentary system. But I'm curious what your Nerdigans' thoughts about this are. But checkmate by Sei, man. Checkmate. Man, that was such a good rebuttal by Sei. I have to say, I did not expect him to say by the rule of law. I really didn't. I didn't even think about that. And I want to know if you Nerdigans thought about that too. Anyway, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. Also, if you want to contribute to the Nerdigans Inc. expansion, there's a couple ways you could do that. You can either donate to the Nerdigans Inc. Patreon or purchase something off the Nerdigans Inc. Amazon wishlist. Both links are in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow me on Twits, aka Twitter, and follow my Von Live channel because the Super Calming Fantasy Guru live stream is coming back this week because football's back. So yes, there's that too. And make sure you follow my Twitch channel and friend me on PlayStation Network. And until everything's in the description box below, by the way. And until next time, Nerdigans, I will be seeing you later. Bye.